Hello and welcome to a new video. Sorry I've been gone last week, I didn't upload a video, but I'm back to upload one every Thursday again. And I had to do some research for the next videos that I'll be uploading, so let's get into it. Today I want to talk about something slightly different, a bit more behind the reasons of why we collect, why I collect, and why I made these videos. Can you actually afford to buy these things as ethically? Like, without any guilt, can you just purchase a bag where it's been made and overconsumption and plastics being used and etc. So let's go through what is in my bag, because I went to a bookstore, Waterstone, here in town, which is my favorite bookstore, and I've ordered some books that I went to collect, and I want to share this, and it's all in my book tote. So let's get into it. This is my Christian Dior book tote, which is a woven bag. I think it's great to go to the bookshop with, and that's exactly what I did today. I like to look after my bags. Now, a lot of women on the internet then buy twirlies, which are scarves that you can buy to wrap around the handle, and I kind of really don't like that. I like the bag as it is, all my bags, and I don't want to wrap a scarf around. I think it's way more glamorous to actually... So I always have this little net bag in there when I go grocery shopping for food that can leak, you know. But I also have in most of my bags its own pair of gloves. So these are little lace gloves. They're very airy, and I think they really match this bag because the base of the bag is very similar to this lace, and then it's woven into there. Since I don't want the handles to become dirty, I usually use gloves. So that's the first thing that's in most of my bags. Then I have in there a black leather toiletry bag, which is very simple, black zip. Doesn't really go with the rest of my stuff in the bag, but I just always carry some makeup and some perfume in here. A brush, yeah, because you never know if you need it. And we have, of course, my card holder. This one is by Smithson's from London. It's a grey leather pouch, and it holds my cards. So this is my English section and this is my Dutch section. And I am very conceptual, so when I have a grey something, I want everything to sort of match. And this is a grey leather passport holder, which I found in a second-hand shop. I think it's from John Lewis. It was never used, so I'm very happy with this. And of course my keys have to match the same style. So everything is silver. I also have a set of golden keys, but it's not very complete, and the gold is coming off. So this is a Longchamp key holder ring, And this is a little Bottega Veneta string that you can hold. So it's actually the smallest handbag I have, because this is my own designed handbag. It's called a takeaway bag. I have it in real size, in leather, in the same color. It's kind of a takeaway bag in leather that you roll up, and it's on its own little key ring, and here's my own label. Oh, I forgot one. There's also my atomizer, which goes with all the gray stuff as well. So yeah, this is from Creed. You've probably seen this before. I currently still have some Creed perfume in here, but I will refill this with Martin Margiela entitled soon. I do switch it around sometimes, and I have everything in black as well. So this is again from John Lewis, a black croc, a leather card holder, and then I have this YSL mirror, which I don't often use because there's also makeup in there, which I've never used. A Tom Ford ombre leather takeaway thing. Oh, I forgot, I also have my bamboo pen, which I absolutely love. This is by Cerruti 1881, and it is a ballpoint, which is refillable. Absolutely love this pen. And then I have this really big case for sunglasses, which is I think Gucci. It is. And these I've had for so long, and these are my favorite sunglasses because they are from the 2010 collection, and I've got a handbag from the same collection. And get into the books that I bought, starting with 3 books here. And this first one is by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva are known since lockdowns 2020, when I was watching a lot of Russell Brand videos, and she was on his podcast talking about whatever was relevant at the time, promoting her new book. Now, she is a doctor and she is an author, and she writes about indigenous ways women would often fertilize the ground and produce vegetables, and also what we've lost throughout times because it's completely industrialized. Monsanto is one of the 3 big seed producers, which means that as a farmer, and this is because of colonialism everywhere, also in India, as a farmer you have to buy and purchase not only the seeds from Monsanto or any of these producers. Those seeds are developed to create crops without not many nutrients like tomatoes or whatever, because they need to last long. And also they don't regrow the next year, so you need to also buy the fertilizers that they provide, and these are chemicals that are being sprayed to keep insects and stuff like that away, to eat the fruits or the vegetables. But it also causes cancer, not only maybe to us as a consumer, but especially to the farmer and their children. And it's really sad that since 1950 the nutrition in our vegetables have really collapsed. So Vandana Shiva wrote Who Really Feeds the World, and this I am reading currently. I'm not very far in. It first starts establishing the situation and then goes back in time about pre-colonialism and how crops were grown back then. So this is a must read. And as I was looking at this book, the lady in the bookstore recommended me Braiding Sweetgrass. I'm not familiar with the author, but it's a very similar approach. However, this is from an indigenous American lady who wrote this book, and it's based on a very similar story, how pre-colonialism and through generations of her family, there's a whole different way of actually appreciating nature and growing crops. So these 2 books, I can't wait to finish them. Then I have, signed by the author, RuPaul's latest book. He has been on tour in the UK and he wrote The House of Hidden Meanings. I never read anything about, well, not a book by RuPaul, so I look forward to reading this. I myself have done drag, also music videos, and learning about Drag Race to me changed my perspective on relation, like how we perceive masculinity and femininity, which I was already working on these topics as a fashion designer. But yeah, for me a lot fell into place, and here is his signature. Thank you, RuPaul. But there is more in the bag, so let's dive in. I have another 3 books here, which is different topics. So first of all, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Michio Kaku. Michio Kaku is a scientist who is, this is called Physics of the Impossible. And what I love is that he uses, as a scientist, theory and, how do you call this? And quantum physics is his field, his expertise. And in quantum physics, there is a lot of reason actually why we can't say there is life on different planets. And it's also touching on UFOs, cyborgs, but from a scientist perspective and based on like research of so many other researchers. Now he is head of the board at Harvard, I believe in the whole astronomical side of Harvard. So he is also basing it on string theory, and I find all of this very interesting to understand. And I've watched many interviews on Joe Rogan or many other podcasts and also documentaries. He features in Ancient Aliens, but also I think in Graham Hancock's documentaries. So yeah, I can't wait to actually really comprehend it by reading this book, which is, I believe, his latest book. With science, it's always important to be up to date because, you know, everything is being proven wrong or false. And on that topic, I also have bought Graham Hancock's, I think it's his latest book, and it's called Magicians of the Gods. Now this goes into our history based on what I believe is true, the Younger Dryas, which happened 12,000 years ago at the end of the Ice Age. Lots of ice caps have melted and covered the earth. And that led to lots of floods, which is common in most religions and most cultures across the world, from China to the Bible with Noah's flood. And I think we have lost a lot of this knowledge, maybe on purpose, maybe not. But he's one of the theorists researching these things. In the same topic, astrophysicist Avi Loeb, I think he's Israeli. He did a TED Talks as well, and I saw him in lots of podcasts in the same. His approach to aliens and life on other planets is very nice to hear, because also his approach towards AI, and that is so not a threat, and I completely understand, and it can never really be, because the amount of computers we need to really make AI something doesn't really exist. So Avi Loeb, this is his book. He's again a scientist, he has a PhD. It's about our solar system, and this book is called Interstellar, the search for extraterrestrial life and our future beyond Earth. Very interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base on these books. It's beautiful, I think. And I actually never paid full price for this. Again, I am a fashion designer. I've developed my own fragrances and set up a fashion house. So I went to many countries to set up production. I'm a pattern cutter, and I actually ended up not continuing setting up my own fashion house because it felt ethically inappropriate to know who's producing my goods, and I just morally can't really stand behind that, because I want a fair production to sales, whatever. And when I was in Italy specifically, it was very disappointing. I didn't find any production sites. I did, but they are really distribution centers or showrooms, and I did work there as a pattern cutter, showing my patterns and what they can do and order quantities, etc. But when I dive deeper into who's actually making it, because this was just a distribution center where all the production is already finished, I then found these suburban industrial areas where there's no windows. You drive past these production facilities and all you see is Chinese people. In fact, Prato is completely taken over by Chinese people. It's like small Chinatown, but different than the touristic one, because this is the people who live there. However, they don't often have health insurance, they don't have proper housing, they don't get paid enough. And so I found this woman who had piles of clothes for Versace and Dior, and the sizes were wrong, and she was so stressed, and she had all these goods that were like, they were not produced right, so stitches off or whatever. And I bought a lot of those misproduced items, and so I can say that this was about 80 euros I paid for this bag, because I know it's produced for around 58 euros. And the crazy thing is that Dior sells this for 4,000 euros, which I never paid. And I know it's real because I took it to a Dior shop, and it is a real one. It's exactly produced the same way they produce it. So that says a lot about the fashion industry. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Thursday. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and follow me if you haven't already, and see you next time.